What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to look at 3 things Resident Evil Village must not do. So we're going to be talking about some things that I feel like could overall hurt the game, maybe even hurt the franchise going forward if they, do it in this game. Now, I had a couple different ideas for what I wanted this video to be. I could definitely do the reverse of this and do the things that this game needs to do, as well as future videos, but I want to start talking about Resident Evil Village. Obviously, we're about only a month away from the game releasing, so there's going to be many more videos on the channel on Resident Evil Village. So if you guys are new here, if you guys do like that, you want to see more Resident Evil stuff, make sure, as always, you guys are subscribed. Make sure you guys have the bell icon turned on. If you guys want to follow me over on Twitter, Podcast Now 15 is my Twitter handle. Link for that is always in the description below. All right, so we're just going to go straight through it, and obviously, these are not set in stone. These are not, I'm sure you can come up with more of them. I definitely want to hear from you guys in the comments. What do you think the game cannot do? Again, things that the game, if they do it, would end up hurting the game. Number one, in my opinion, it would be to be too actiony. Now, here's the interesting thing, and I've said this before in past Resident Evil videos, is I don't mind 5 for the most part. I actually think 5 is a pretty solid game. 6 is kind of all over the place. I don't have as many fond things about 6, kind of just because, I don't know, it was trying to obviously be many different games with its characters, which is respectable in a way, but I actually liked 5 for the most part. I don't think it's the best one. I don't think it is what Resident Evil is. I just had a lot of fun playing it with my friend. With that being said, Resident Evil 7 is probably one of, if not my favorite, Resident Evil games. And I think the biggest reason, I think what people like more and more about that, what they liked about 2's remake, is not the action, not hardcore going for action. And 7 did, in my opinion, a really good job for like 95, maybe 90, 95% of the game. Obviously, there's action. And obviously, you need to have action. You need to have some sort of combat. You need to have some sort of like gun mechanics and things like that. Like, that's going to be in the game. I'm not saying make it like Amnesia, where you just run around, you can't defend yourself, stuff like that. No, obviously you can end up hurting things, but to make it an action shooter like RE5 was, is probably not what you should do. Again, 7 didn't do it for the entire game, and at the end, they just decided, hey, we need to throw as much action at you as we possibly can in the last hour and a half, and it just felt like such a, it wasn't awful. I wouldn't even say it was bad. It was just such a different feel that I don't think worked because, and that's just my opinion, but I don't think it worked because of the huge contrast of, okay, you play, I don't know, 8, 9, 10, 11, however long. I think it was actually a pretty long game. I beat it, but it's been quite some time. You play the majority of it, and you're not doing this stuff, and then all of a sudden, you're thrown right in. So I would say Village needs to kind of learn from that. If you're going to do it, maybe sporadically, kind of like sprinkle it throughout the game, right? So you feel like, okay, you do non-actiony stuff, not heavy actiony stuff, and then you do some action, then you don't, then you do back and forth, because if you just give it to us all at the end or all at the beginning, and then you make it non-action, or who knows, maybe, I know there's leaks, I know there's things about this game, I don't know them, maybe you swap between characters, maybe like Chris, if you get to play as him, and again, I don't know, I mean, maybe people do know, but I don't know, maybe that would be a little bit more actiony, so we'll have to see how it goes, but I would say to focus more on, the world building, character building, focus on the horrors. Obviously, there's going to be action, but to not make it RE5 and 2/3 of RE6 kind of level action. Number 2, and my wife suggested this to me, not even as a joke, and I thought I could maybe transform it into a joke, but I don't even think I can do it, is killing off Lady D. Now, I was trying to practice saying her name. I tried to watch videos of another guy saying her name, to which he could not do it. And I guess Lady D is obviously what I think most people are saying. So here's the sad thing is, like, this is like transcended memes. This is transcended like just jokes, I think, in general. It was kind of funny when she was first shown, and there was definitely like a fascination. I think that's putting it lightly, but fascination with her online and all this stuff. And now, as we've gotten closer, when IGN did the 5-minute gameplay and she was throwing, what was it, a chair or something against the wall, and people were saying like they wish she was throwing them instead of the chair. Like, okay, now it's borderline getting onto some other things that we won't touch upon, but to make it more real, she's an interesting one, right? Because she seems to be the primary antagonist of the game, although that's not set in stone. Like, we don't necessarily know if she's, going to be throughout the entire game. I feel like she will be, though, right? So killing her off, obviously, too early is probably a bad idea. And I guess if you want to go for the joking, approach, you could say killing her off, like, at all. Like, again, like, my wife suggested this to me, like, as a serious thing. And I do wonder, like, if she dies, if we have to kill her, or if she just dies on her own, or, or maybe Chris kills her, or something, and she's gone, like, will people freak out? I feel like her death scene in this game will be like a bit, like, if you do that as a YouTube video, here's a pro tip. If you do that as a YouTube video, it will be a very big video, or discussing her probably at all, which I will probably do that, discussing her character once the game is out. But I just feel like because of the fascination for her, it's going to be interesting to see what they do with her. On a more serious note, if she's kind of just there for looks, maybe she's intimidating, but maybe she's not really all that developed. Well, that's, I do want a pretty strong villain in this game. And so if she is the villain, or she's the main villain, I do want to, like, understand her. I do want to maybe see things from her side, and I want her to be fully developed. I don't want her to just be a thing that people have, a crazy obsession for, which is fine. And I think they probably didn't plan on that. I honestly don't think they made that character with the intention that people were just gonna, like, do this, with her. But I do think there's a lot of potential there, and again, including how they handle her, like, at the end. If they take her out, I don't think she'd be, like, a thing going forward. Like, she has to be in future RE games. I think she's going to be pretty memorable in this game. So this was kind of a joke one, kind of not, if you actually think about it. And the third one is also focusing on a character. It's Chris. And now I guess things that they can't do would be hurting Chris's character. Now, the interesting thing is, Chris's character, you could argue, has already been hurt because of RE5 and stuff like that. I enjoyed that game. I actually like Chris's character up until right now. However, based off the trailers, based off things we can infer, he's not like a likable, I guess to, again, put it lightly, he's not a likable person from what it seems like, at least initially. Now, maybe there's things going on behind the scenes. Maybe he's doing things for specific reasons. Maybe he's changed as a person. But I don't think we're going to like him all that much. This is just a prediction. And again, if you know spoilers, obviously, maybe you would know more than me. But I don't think we're going to like him much, especially in the beginning of the game. Now, that's different. Again, like, hurting his character, making him a bad character versus not liking him, those are two different things. If you want to make him kind of the anti-hero where he is doing things for a good cause or a good reason, we just can't see it yet, I think that's actually kind of smart and very different, actually, for a Resident Evil game and stuff. So I think, like, there's a lot of potential there. That's not the same. So, like, if we don't like him, we're like, wow, we really don't like what he's doing or what he did with that character or what he said or how he's acting. That's different than, okay, they're just making him a terrible character. And again, terrible not meaning evil, terrible meaning he just sucks. He's just a bad character, right? I think, again, like, what they've done with Ethan, with Mia, and really with a really solid cast of characters in 7, I have faith that I think they'll be quite fine in Village. I think whatever they do to all these characters, whether they live, survive, they turn bad for a certain reason or whatever it happens to be, I do have trust in them that the characters are going to be fine. So I don't really think this is a big worry, in my opinion, but it is something we're looking out for, which is funny because I'm almost, even myself, like, outside this video, I almost focus more on Chris than Ethan, which he is the main character still. So I do like Ethan. I think Ethan's actually a pretty solid character, but we'll have to see how it goes. So those are my 3 things. Again, there's other things you could go with gameplay and with puzzles and with horror and with all that stuff. So there's plenty of more things to talk about. So if you guys did like this video, I can definitely do more. Like I said, we could swap it and do things that it should do. We can do the reverse of it. Let me know, and let me know what things you think this game cannot do in the comments below. Again, as always, make sure you guys are subscribed. Make sure you guys have the bell icon turned on so you know all these videos go up. Podcast Now 15 is my Twitter. All my social media stuff is in the description below if you guys want to check out those links. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you all on the next video.